Hi, I'm Samantha Madison Cooper.
And I'm Daniela Smolov Levy.
I'm a PhD candidate in historical musicology at New York University, where I'm writing a dissertation about how Jewish New Yorkers engaged with opera in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. I'm also the Associate Executive Director of the Jewish Music Forum, a project of the American Society for Jewish Music, and an organization for which I help to organize interdisciplinary programs about Jewish music in all of its historical and contemporary diversity.
I'm a musicologist interested in the history of efforts to democratize opera in America, including those aimed specifically at Yiddish speakers in the early 20th century. I'm currently a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Haifa as part of the Dybbuk project, collaborating with Ruthia Believich and a team of scholars in seeking to better understand the so-called shund or trash Yiddish musical theater that was so popular and influential around the turn of the 20th century in both America and Europe.
Together, we study various aspects of the history of Jewish involvement in opera in America, and we are glad to have the opportunity to present an overview of our article that summarizes the current state of the field. Jews have been involved in opera in myriad amateur and professional ways, as audience members, composers, conductors, managers, patrons, producers, authors, and performers. They've also featured as the subjects of operas and participated in the long tradition of lampooning the genre and its patrons. While there's still relatively little scholarship about Jews in opera in America and Europe compared to other areas of Jewish music research, scholars have increasingly addressed the subject over the last 20 years. Its inherent interdisciplinarity has drawn researchers from a wide range of fields. Scholarship about Jews and high culture more generally also provides important context for the study of Jews and opera. This diversity of approaches speaks to a new recognition of the distinctive ways that Jews, Jewish culture, and Judaism have influenced and been influenced by the world of opera.
Much of the recent work dealing with Jewish engagement with opera concentrates on Europe and to a lesser extent Israel, or asks questions about the representation of Jewish identity in opera culture. However, these studies offer a valuable comparison with and backdrop to the American context. A particularly substantial area of research focuses on how both Jewish and non-Jewish opera composers such as Haydn, Meyerbeer, Strauss, and Bloch have musically or visually represented biblical Israelites and Jews on the opera stage.
Other scholars have attended to the ways in which synagogue cantors have responded to the simultaneous threat and allure of opera's repertoire, vocal techniques, and professional responsibilities. This is an especially intriguing area of inquiry, which we believe could benefit from further study. Still others have analyzed popular culture relating to Jews in opera, such as in the Marx Brothers' infamous send-up in A Night at the Opera, leveraging the tensions inherent in a genre that straddles the high and popular cultural spheres.
Continuing a long history of scholarship on Jews and Wagner, new studies explore the composer's evolving legacy. In particular, this research probes differences between pre- and post-World War II perceptions of Wagner's anti-Semitism and considers its potential influence not only on understanding the content of Wagner's works themselves, but also on the public in a range of times and places. A significant quantity of research also considers the performance and reception histories of operas composed during the Holocaust era, such as Hans Krass's Brundibar of 1938 and Victor Ullmann's Der Kaiser von Atlantis of 1942. Questions of healing, guilt, atonement, and trauma after World War II have spurred analysis of operas like Mario Castelnuovo Tedesco's 1961 opera Il Mercadante di Venezia and Chaya Chernovin's opera Pnima ins Inele from 2000.
A growing area of American-focused scholarship explores subjects such as American-born Jewish opera singers, operas composed by Jews in America, such as Kurt Weill's Street Scenes and Gershwin's Porgy and Bess, critical events in American Jewish opera history, like the mounting of the death of Klinghoffer or La Juive at the Met, Jewish involvement in opera management, such as the influence of a group of Moravian Jewish opera impresarios on the American opera industry, and opera performances aimed specifically at Jews, as in the Yiddish theater of the Lower East Side. Since these studies still mostly concentrate on New York City, more work is needed that considers other urban and rural settings with a notable Jewish presence across the United States.
Scholars have also recently begun to delve further into American Jewish themes in research on class, gender, language, politics, race, national origin, and immigration. While these studies seldom mention opera or at most refer to it in passing, they shed important light on the broader context in which Jewish engagement with opera takes place. This research ranges from studies of Jewish community organizations to an analysis of socialism in Jewish circles, to scholarship on the consumption of literature, journalism, and mass media in Europe and America, to transatlantic cultural exchange in Jewish circles. Recent scholarly work on the Yiddish theater in particular, without dealing with opera specifically, has deepened understanding of Jewish involvement with high culture. In addition, research of the last 20 years has drawn attention to the heterogeneity of American Jews, employing lenses such as intersectionality, hybridity, ambiguity, in-betweenness, and difference to more effectively convey the complexity of Jewish experience.
Today, Jews have continued their involvement with opera. Recent examples include professional opera singers David Serrero and Anthony Russell, prominent figures known for their love of opera, such as Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and composers such as Frank London and Joshua Horowitz, who have written new operas on Jewish topics or revived existing Jewish-themed works. Such figures reveal an explicit embrace of Jewish identity in a variety of opera-related arenas, opening up new avenues for scholarly exploration.
Given that much of the research on the history of Jews and opera is archival, the rise of the field of digital humanities has been a particular boon to scholars in this area. Instant access to a tremendous and growing online repository of primary sources, including rare documents, periodicals, and recordings, has reduced some of the need to travel to archives. These resources speed up scholarship and expand its scope by allowing researchers to easily search for items on adjacent subjects. Other digital tools and platforms such as ArcGIS and Google Maps, as well as technologies that convert handwritten script to printed text, all offer new ways of accessing, absorbing, sorting, visualizing, and presenting historical and geographical information.
This assessment of extant literature confirms that the study of Jews in opera has attained a definitive place within American Jewish music studies.
Research of the last 2 decades has heightened awareness of the diverse modes of Jewish involvement with opera and led to a more nuanced understanding of its scope and influence. Insights from this work may also shed light on broader questions relating to the impact of different ethnic groups' heritage on the creation and dissemination of culture.
Thanks for listening.